We can't try to conceptualize lives that comprise of more than just sunrise and sunset. We can't forget that their hearts loved and their minds wretched, how complex the world can get. In their favor, they took action, maybe a reaction to the pain they felt and how the world didn't understand. A quick fix that lasts an entire lifetime. We can't understand their complex mind. The thoughts that rush like blood, the flood, the mud, so heavy, so dark, and so dirty. Hands that don't come clean like the fog in a dream. The truth can't be seen and we can't touch it. Like the questions inside, so confused and so ripe, but never answered, just asked. The waiting became tired and the world became wired and we never reached out a hand, only faces that we can send on text. They took over, became our faces, cartoon plastered races with dark skin options, sending love over internet waves. We can't pave pain or make it go faster. We can't smash it into pieces and compress it so it's easier to carry. It remains big and lives outside of a timeline, lasting sometimes a lifetime until it's cut short. The cut the cord, stop the music, and step out. That's a decidable route, but we're left. No way to escape. Just stay. A lot of our young girls, a lot of our young women, a lot of our matriarchs are slipping through the cracks at the cost of no self-worth, little to no self-worth. When you don't have that foundation of worthiness, then you'll settle for anything, and you'll allow anyone to do anything to and for you. Eitel squalawal quels quitslala, talitzel quas gaukail casta chiam. Good day, my name's Antonia Victor, and I come from Chiam and Scout First Nation, and my traditional name is Chayatia. I was always going through my life very lost, and being with my mom's family, the Point family, I was raised around very strict cultural teachings, but I was also half raised in Chiam with my father, who really struggled in his addiction. I was always trying to fill this hole inside that my dad put inside of me with other things, substances, people, activities. My mother was becoming very worn down because she was all-star grandma and taking care of my daughter a lot more than I was, a lot better than I was, because nothing else was put before my addiction. Alcohol and drugs were my master, and it was starting to become known and seen and very obvious, and it was wearing on my mother. And so she had asked the ladies to come together and have a conversation with me and just talk to me about how worried they were. And I was angry at this intervention that was had at this circle. And I walked away, and I was bitter, and I was ready to throw in the towel. And there was a point where I was driving home from work after this intervention. I had a conference downtown Vancouver, and I had to drive through the downtown east side. And I took a look around at my surroundings, and I saw these people on the streets, and I was envious of them. I thought they aren't trying to uphold this image of being a good parent, of being a good matriarch, of being a cultural person, of being somebody recognized in the community as good. They're not trying to hold on for dear life, to uphold these different images that I was starting to not be able to uphold anymore. And that's when that hit me really hard, because I never thought that I would see the day where that lifestyle was envious to me. And so I knew then that it was either take a turn to that place or take a turn for the better and to start to heal.
Mama has taught me when you make a mistake, you need to take it out and do it again, especially when you're learning. Mm-hmm. And that's teaching you patience, but it's also teaching you to do it the proper way.
Right. Like and that. I just love the look of twining.
And it's so healing.
It is.
It's very healing. That's why I started weaving again, because it's giving me peace and it's helping me feel grounded and be in touch with my ancestry and being in touch with Mom and everything, because she weaved all her life. So it's just so important to keep doing it, and then, of course, to pass it on. So, Ace whale to la whale, that see me till squeak, talitzel quaskau kale. Good day, everybody. My name is Wendy Ritchie, and I'm from Scout here in Chilliwack. Within our Stalo culture, our young girls historically went through a puberty rites ceremony, which meant that they were handed over to their aunties, and their aunties prepared them for becoming young adults, young women. So they took them and they taught them survival methods like sewing and knitting and weaving. When you do any kind of weaving, you need to know how to harvest, and you also need to know how to pray. So it's being very respectful to Mother Earth, and when you portray being respectful, you're respecting yourself as well as a woman. I've done my best to learn how to do all the tasks that she taught me when I was from the time I was 15, after I guess went through my puberty. I went out and I harvested roots and brought them home, and they weren't the right kind of roots to work with. However, my mom, she just told me, go ahead and try it. I tried it, and I tried to make the basket, and it was really hard and challenging because I didn't get straight ones. So you need straight roots to make a basket. So then I started, and then it wasn't working, and I had to throw it away and go all the way back out the forest again and look for the proper kind of roots and straight roots. So there's disappointments in life, and there's challenges in life. And if you're not grounded and balanced and have a good foundation to grow from, when you fail, you might crash hard. But when you have pride and determination and patience, you'll stand up and take the challenge and keep going forward.
In honor of all our dear women and girls, our songs are also prayers. We're sending prayers to you, sending love to you for strength. To eat also. So when I was a young girl, because of colonization, we didn't have our ceremonies, we didn't have our baskets. Our children were the first ones to go through the puberty ceremony in 4 generations. And does it make a difference? Yes, it does. Because it grounds them in who they are. Te ia talito, shashko te homo te squee, and halkamilm called the homo te stalo. My traditional name is Shashkowit. The language we speak is halkamilm, and I'm Stolo. No one can give you that feeling. You can't buy it. You gotta be with it. You gotta be with who you are. And I think that's where we get our strength from. When you get on our canoes and you're on the water, you feel like $1 million. And I really believe the same with working with our baskets or working with our regalia. You get a renewed energy because my brother-in-law said it best. He said, you walk into our longhouse, it's like going back generations, right?
Hey, girls. Hey, time to get off your phone. No! You gotta get ready. Come on. Come on. Let's go.
You're not my our most valuable resource is our children, our daughters. They're the ones that pass on life. They're the ones that create life. And our daughters will pass that teachings on, that siwis on to their children. And that will follow on and on through the generations, and that healing will continue to happen. And when I look at my daughter and how I can protect and preserve what she has and she carries, I must treat her and respect her in a way that I would like somebody else to be treating her and respecting her. And one day when that comes, hopefully she'll be able to see that and pick up on those cues that my brothers and my dad and my uncles, they didn't treat me this way. They treated me in a good, healthy, respectful way.
Here, smell this water. It smells funky.
No! I'll smell it.
Here goes this part right here. Oh, there, do you want that?
We've gone through 7 generations of cultural and spiritual genocide. And they said it was going to take 7 generations to heal from that cultural and spiritual genocide. And it's up to us as men to protect and preserve what our women have and they carry.
We're going to share with you this song that was given to my husband's family, the Point family. And it's a thank you song. Iat Tishwali, thank you to the Spirit. Haita.
Swell, Fitsimel Tiltulskui. Good afternoon, my name is Darcy Paul. I'd like to acknowledge the unceded and ancestral territory of the Stalo people. Oh, ho, oh, oh, hello, hello.
So when the girls are dancing, they put their hands out, showing all that the Creator has given us. And I always tell the people, including you today. Then they'll cross their arms, they'll bow their heads, and they'll back up. It's a sign of humility. And then they'll put their hands up. It's Iat. Your hands up means welcome, but it also means thank you.
When it comes to my daughter Eclipse, I really try to ensure that I'm keeping very open communication with her regarding our struggles, regarding our family history, my history, and I've hid nothing from her. And if I can do anything to prevent her from having to go down that road, I will provide all the tools that I learned today at 32 to her at 5 years old, so that it's natural to her when she's going through her life. How to positively release the turmoil that's going on inside. I've picked up many tools to be able to cope with life on life's terms. And when I speak with her, I teach her about what's safe and what's not safe, and how to take care of herself in situations with people, and what's appropriate, what's not appropriate. Again, those were conversations that I just never had. She constantly says to me, "Mom, you already told me that." But I want these tools and this knowledge to be natural to her. I want them to be second nature. If I can teach her today how to not be disappointed that life is going to throw rough curveballs at us, but how to walk through that with your head held high. Also explaining to her that matriarch role that she will once play. And I can teach her that with pride today, knowing that I am taking the steps to fulfill this role. My heart lies in the healing of our communities, whatever that may look like. If there was one wish I had for the women in our communities and the up-and-coming girls in our communities, is that we teach them how worthy they are.